On the one hand, Tyap language is classified as a Plateau, Platoid, Benue-Congo, Volta-Congo, Atlantic-Congo, Niger-Congo African language. On the other hand, English language is classified as a West Germanic, Indo European language. However, these two languages have a similarity. This similarity has to do with the sentence pattern. Both languages are what linguists call languages having to do, or rather, languages having the SVO sentence pattern. The SVO represents subject, verb, object. In other words, the subject comes first, followed by the verb, and then the object. Sometimes the verb might be in two forms. You might have the auxiliary verb, and you can also have the main verb together in a sentence. And the auxiliary verb, you can have the primary auxiliary verb and also the modal auxiliary verb. So, in other words, the subject comes first, followed by the verb, and then the object. Our first lesson today would involve the usage of verbs in both Tyap and English. For example, Indigo. Indigo. I see him or her. You can see N stands for I, D stands for C, and Gu stands for him or her. In English, there are two different words, one for the masculine gender and the other one for the feminine gender. But in Tyap, we only have one for both. However, Tyap has a lot of pronouns which we shall discover later. The second example is Nyang. Nyang, I beg you. Nyang. And then the third example is Nangya. Nangya, I will eat. Nangya, I will eat. The third example has to do with the usage of a modal auxiliary verb, na. Na means will or shall. Now the differences between Tyap and English include the usage of the negation and one or two other things we shall discover in the course of our lessons. Now let's look at the examples again. Number one, we have Ndiguba. Ndiguba. I didn't see him or her. I did not see him or her. The second example is Nayangba. Nayangba. I am not begging you. Nayangba. I am not begging you. Now take note, in Tyap, for present actions that are not continual in nature, the primary auxiliary verb like am, is, or did did are not used. In other words, when you translate Tyap, or rather when a Tyap speaking person speaks English, that person tends to exclude the auxiliary verb from the English he or she speaks. For example, Ndi Guba, such a person would rather say, I see him not, or rather, I no see him, or I no see her, without putting the did. I did not see him, or I did not see her. Then the third example is Nangiaba. Nangiaba, I will not eat. Nangiaba, I will not eat. In other dialects of Tyap language like Fantuam and Gorok, the ba is replaced with dak. Ba is often written, or rather is always written B-A-H. The negation B-A-H. The H must be added to the B-A to separate it from the plural personal pronoun ba, meaning them. The dak is written D-A-K or D-A-G, or rather written D-A-K and pronounced D-A-G. For example, Nayadak, Nayadak, and Nangiadak, Nangiadak, Nayadak, I am not begging you. Nangiadak, I will not eat. But in this very case, we have Nayangba, I am not begging you. Nayangba and Nangiaba, Nangiaba, I will not eat. Now, English language has changed over the past 400 years, beginning from the 17th century till now. You will discover that in old, or rather medieval English, the negation is placed in the same way it is placed in Tyap today. Let's take a look at the three examples all over again. Ndiguba, Ndiguba, I see him not, or I see her not. That's Old English, or rather medieval English. The second example is Nayangba, Nayangba, I beg you not. Nayangba, I beg you not. And the third example is Nangiaba, Nangiaba, I will not eat. Same thing in German language. The same way Tyap language is arranged is the same way the German language is being arranged. Using the first example, Ndiguba. Ndiguba is Ich sehe ihn nicht. I see him not. Or Ich sehe sie nicht. I see her not. Ndiguba. And then the second example is Nayamba. Nayamba. Ich bitte sie nicht. Ich bitte sie nicht. I beg you not. I beg you not. The only exception in German is when you have a modal auxiliary verb like will, shall, must, can, have to, and so on. In German, when you use a modal verb or a modal auxiliary verb, the arrangement is going to be the same way as in modern English. Using the first, or rather using the third example, Nangiaba. Nangiaba. Ich werde nicht essen. Nangiaba. Nangiaba. Ich werde nicht essen. I will not eat. Nangiaba. I will not eat. And when using the objects, in addition to the modal auxiliary verb and the main verb in the sentence, we have something like this. Nangiaoba. Nangiaoba. I will not eat it. Nangiaoba. I will not eat it.